Welcome back to In Doug's Garden, brought to you by the Davey Tree Expert Company. It's our season 3 finale, if you can believe it. And boy, do we have a show set for you. Answering questions about deer damage. We're going to be fertilizing containers. I've got 2, maybe 3 plants you should grow. And we're visiting one of Pittsburgh's most interesting characters and a wild garden. Before we go anywhere else, though, do me a favor. Like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel. And take a look at this behind me. This is called Grandpa Ott Morning Glory. I love morning glories. I know they can be a bully. I love them because they just self-sow and do their thing. And this one is a wonderful heirloom. It has a great history where a granddaughter was going over to her grandparents' house. The grandfather is putting up these morning glories. They're putting them up on the front of the porch every year. And she saved those special seeds and started something called Seed Savers Exchange. Now, let's go out and take a look at a very special place. It's called Randyland.
We are at Randyland, R-A-N-D-Y-L-A-N-D.
And what is Randyland?
Well, Randyland, I didn't name it Randyland. I always called this place my Yellow Castle because I painted my building yellow. But before I bought this, I was doing gardening, and we built 800 gardens, 50 vegetable gardens, and 8 parks. So whenever I got my building, and then they did the first story of like me, then they called it Randyland. And I was so upset, I couldn't believe it. They called my house Randyland. And everybody started calling it Randyland. So everybody calls it Randyland. I didn't name it Randyland. You guys named it Randyland.
Talk about all the different colors and art you have here.
Okay, yeah, the art that I have here is not art, it's heart. I don't have a really good system of, everybody is different in their persons, and my brain is not the same, so I'm not as fast and as smart as some folks. So I learn from what I feel, what makes me smile, and what I can see. Visualizing is half of actualizing. So I started collecting things from this neighborhood because I was always collecting things from the streets when I was a little boy. I started collecting when I was 9 years old. We didn't have a lot, and I found furniture. I found great things. And then before you know it, I come over here, and all these lots were here. So yay me. And there was a bunch of houses and a bunch of stones and wood and cool stuff. This was a store with no charge. So hot diggity dog, I get all my materials. I was always at farms. So I learned to recycle, repurpose, rethink, regrow, redevelop, and rebloom.
How much time do you spend working on the art?
Well, you know, there's a struggle. Juggling is the best friend you're going to ever have. If you get so focused, you stay in one area, sometimes you get stuck there. So the idea is to juggle everything around. So you can start a product here, but maybe you ran out of stones or whatever you need. It's okay, get over here and start another product. And then I found stuff and I decided, hey, let's go ahead and let's paint it. And these are the old fences behind me of the old fences. I probably collected them for 25 years. And I cut them into those arrows. And now people from all over the world come. And we have over 300 bloodlines from 300 people from all over the world that brought their language and bloodlines to us. I believe we're the largest hand-painted international welcome house in the world. Pretty groovy. Over here, I got so much of all the things from people's backyards, the old grandmas that left, and I try to go there and ask people before they develop it, can I go in the yard and can I gather some of the treasures from the yesterday, 100 years old, 50 years old, who knows? But together, it's a beautiful collection, and it's so much energy and history and passion that, like, to me, it's just like we need to have that. That's like a yesterday fertilizer, which creates blooms for the future.
What brought you guys to Randyland?
We were visiting the Phipps Conservatory, and we saw this on Google and thought this is a pretty awesome place to go check out.
And what do you think?
It's a sight to be seen.
Not to be missed, definitely.
Yes, I would recommend anyone coming to Pittsburgh to make it a quick stop on their visit.
Did you have any idea what this was before you came?
Well, my cousin, Catherine, showed me a picture, and I said, well, that looks interesting. I would say it's a garden, though. I would say it's a garden.
Yes.
What has been the best part for you looking through this wild garden?
Oh.
Well, that's hard to say. There's so much. It's eye candy galore.
The colors are
Yeah.
amazing.
I guess the
And
colors, yeah.
the way he's been able to put it to get everything together and make it work to where people can enjoy it.
Yeah, I think if I was trying to do this, it would look like a pile of trash, but somehow it looks very purposeful.
Yes.
Why do you do it, Randy?
Well, it's my joy. It's my heartbeat. I describe when I paint, and I'm not an artist, but I feel the heartbeat of the paint. I don't always know I'm going to get a canvas, a piece of something, and I get a color, and I say, what color? And whatever color it is, spontaneous, I pick it up, and I look at it, and I say, let's begin. What do we want to do now? And I'm thinking, I don't know, so just, I feel the heartbeat of the paint, and I feel the heartbeat of everyone that comes in here. This place has become a special, it's like that little, like those little snowballs when you shake it, all of the happiness and the people all around us. And I do want to tell you one more secret. Randyland, believe it or not, has a karma shed. I have, for 25 plus years, in the corner, a place that, well, there's nobody there, and things that people might want to have, they go and they get them. And I hope they pay me.
What do you see people getting out of their time walking through Randyland?
Ooh, everybody wants to high five. Everybody wants to hug me. I'm not really good at a lot of things, but my love will always glow and show. And when you get people in here, they usually look around because they're like, wow, where did this come from? Wow, I remember that. And so many people, they middle-aged people, they come up to me and they get so happy and they jump up and down. Oh, you're Randy. We love this place. I said, well, don't you have a place like this in your neighborhood? No. Don't you have a place like this in the state where you're from? Utah, Wyoming, Nebraska, Paris, France, England, Germany, Africa. You mean, am I the only person that has a corner of treasures and gardens? Wow. A lot of people say they never seen nothing like this. So it's a gift that I was given to open up your eyes and your heart. Recycling, repurposing, regifting, gardening. They all are the best friends in the whole wide world. And I'm tickled pink that I was bit by that bug.
Go visit Randyland this summer. You see, it's just the coolest place. And Randy, I've known him for a long time. He is a wonderful person and quite a character. Now, I just want to remind you to fertilize your containers. When you do, your beans will look like this. And believe it or not, this is a bush bean in a little pot. And I love this stuff. It's called Dramatic with 2 M's. It's from the Dram Corporation. This is not an ad. They don't pay me to tell you about this, and they don't give me any free product. This is what I use. And it's a fish-based concentrate. You mix a little bit of this with a little bit of water. There's lots of other organic concentrates you can use, but every time I'm watering during the summer, I'm fertilizing too, and as you can see, the containers love it. You should grow this, really. Well, this monster is called a Bottlebrush Buckeye, and probably had it in the garden now 10 years. It is getting huge. I knew it was going to get this big, and I first saw one at a place called Dawes Arboretum. It's between Pittsburgh and Columbus in a town called Newark. Check out Dawes Arboretum. This plant needs nothing from the gardener. It's never been watered, and it has these beautiful white kind of bottle brush type flowers, and low maintenance, wonderful plant. Would like a little bit more sun than it gets, but it's still blooming, and I love it. Well, since it's our last show of the season, I had to show you one more plant that you should grow. For all you people that hate Rose of Sharon, we've talked about Rose of Sharon a few weeks ago. This is a wonderful one. It's called Sugar Tip. It doesn't make babies. It is sterile. You've got variegated foliage, which is white and green. and double pink flowers. I love doubles, and this plant again needs nothing from the gardener. Eventually gets to about 15 feet tall. I love this tree. Gotta love your Rose of Sharon, especially one like this.
Question is, Doug, I have a garden that has a fence around it, you know, plastic fence, chicken wire type of thing, and something pulled through it earlier this week. It ate all my tomatoes, zucchini, cucumbers, didn't touch the peppers. Is it still worth watering it? Is it still worth keeping it up with the garden?
Well, Jason, I feel your pain because the same thing has happened to me twice this season. They have somehow got into my fenced-in garden, and you really don't have a choice at this point. It's watering, fertilizing, crossing your fingers, saying your prayers, and hopefully your plants will come back. Mine have. It's been slow but sure. For the deer, I'm using this stuff. It's called Bobex. Same thing. This is not an ad. This is just what I use. It smells, but that's what keeps the deer off. And as long as this is on the plant, the deer will not eat it. And we just had a rain, and so I want to reapply. As long as you remember to spray, you'll be good. And that's what I'm going to do right here, because I think they might like this sweet potato vine right down here. Now it's time for Talking Trees from the Davey Tree Expert Company. I'm joined again by Rob Kruljac. He's an assistant district manager at the North Pittsburgh office of the Davey Tree Expert Company. And we're talking all about safety.
Yeah, at Davey, Doug, safety's number one.
I know it.
Yeah, so that's our top priority. So yeah, I want to talk a little bit about that with you today.
So this is all the stuff that you guys would wear when working or using a chainsaw, or both?
Yeah,
okay.
Both. You know, hard hat is a mandatory all the time, you know, piece of equipment for us, with the ear defenders for our hearing. That's a face shield that is not going to ever replace safety glasses.
Right.
You know, would still
so
want to
wear
wear
safety glasses too.
Yep, underneath of that, but that just keeps you from getting smacked in the face. It kind of gets annoying after a while. We've got some high over the ankle boots here, you know, with good tread, you know, for working on, you know, slippery surfaces, slopes and such. A nice pair of work gloves. The chainsaw gets hot, the muffler gets hot, there's sharp edges on the chain itself, so you want to protect your hands. And then chainsaw chaps. Now,
so this to me is the most important thing, because your normal homeowner, and that's what we're kind of talking about here, we know everybody at Davey is going to have all the safety equipment, but these guys at home, you know, let's say you come to a property and they say, oh, just leave it, I'll cut it up, you know, to save a few bucks. Talk about the importance of those chaps.
Right. You may save a few bucks, but you honestly may lose your life. You know, most chainsaw accidents happen below the waist, and that's what these chaps help prevent. Okay, they're not chainsaw proof, they're chainsaw resistant.
So what does that mean? What if a blade hits that?
It's full of a material that's very stringy, like cotton ball if you pull it apart. And when the chain comes in contact with that material, it wraps up inside of the sprocket and jams the saw to a stop.
So if anybody's using a chainsaw, that.
Number one.
Let's talk a little bit more about homeowners. Never get off the ground with a chainsaw.
Please
That
don't.
is ridiculous. And through the years, we've seen this when you're young and dumb. And so talk about that you just call somebody.
You're right, exactly. Like, if it's on the ground already and you want to take care of the cleanup because of the economy or whatever, that's fine. Go out to like somewhere like J&D Tractor up on 19 and buy yourself a set of, you know, PPE, personal protective equipment. Then yes, if you want to cut that up for firewood or just throw your brush in the woods, that's fine. I understand that, but you got to be safe doing it.
You know what, Rob? I always have the guys from Davey do it.
Right, yeah. It's
I'm done with chainsaws. No way. I don't have chaps. I don't have this. I have some decent work gloves, but to me, it gives me a peace of mind to have the team from Davey doing the cutting, and they do it more efficiently and certainly safer, and that's my rule now.
You may save a few bucks, but in the long run, you know, it is a ton of work, and it is still dangerous no matter what.
Safety first, my friend.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Great
Doug.
to see you. Great season, too.
Yeah,
Thanks for
absolutely.
being
This is
part
our
of it.
last one, huh?
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Well, here's to next year.
As always, thanks so much for taking time away from your garden to come see this one and to follow us along to see all these other cool gardens. We had a lot of fun here in season 3. I hope you enjoyed watching the shows as much as we did making them. For more information about everything we talked about today, go to dougoster.com. I've got lots of good garden info there. And until the next time we meet, keep planting, and I'll see you then.